to my channel. I'm Anne and today I'm going to be bringing you my July reading hopefuls. June has been a crazy month. I am still fighting for my life with Book Battle in episode 5 and honestly I don't know if I'm going to complete it before the end of the month. We have 1.5 days left and I still have to read 2 books for that vlog. So we might be starting Book Battle for July with a failure. But yeah, I have a lot of books that I want to read in the month of July and I don't know if I'm going to get to them all, but I just want to talk about some of the books that I'm really interested in reading and very excited about. So the first one is The North Wind by Alexandria Warwick. I started listening to this on audio the other day at work, so I'm about 45% of the way in, so I'm definitely going to be finishing this in the month of June. So in this one we're following our main character Bren, and she's living in a world that is constantly cold because the north wind keeps everything cold. And her and her village are starving and she is very protective of her sister. It definitely gives me ACOTAR vibes, like the beginning of ACOTAR where Feyre goes out hunting for the family and things like that. And she, in this world, women get chosen every 30 years, whatever, to become a sacrifice to the north wind. So the north wind will come along and he'll pick someone, and our main character Ren, her sister gets chosen and she decides that that's not going to happen and she is going to go in her stead because they are twins. And we're watching her as she is learning about this north wind, realizing that she's actually not a sacrifice and what her job and role contains, and why she was taken from her village. So I'm very interested to see where this goes. I'm really enjoying it so far. I'm about 45% of the way in. And yeah, I'm definitely intrigued. So this is one that definitely will be read in the month of July. Jesus. The next one that I want to get to is Things We Left Behind by Lucy Score. I have an event that I'm going to in September, a Lucy Score event, and I'm very excited, so I'll hopefully be able to bring my editions and get them signed. But I love Lucy Score. I've read Things We Never Got Over and Things You Hide from the Light. I just read Things We Hide from the Light in the month of June and I put it off for so long, so I definitely want to pick this one up as soon as possible so I have all of them read and ready to go. But I love this series so much. So in this one we're following Lucian and what's her name? Sloane. Yes, I was right. So Lucian is the best friend of Nox and Nash, and Sloane is the best friend of Lena and Naomi from book 1 and book 2. So I'm very intrigued about this one because we've been seeing that they have a past together, they grew up together and they hate one another at the moment, and I'm very curious to see where that leads, what actually happened between them that they're fighting and hating each other so much. And I just love this series so much, and Lucian is definitely a morally grey character, so I'm very intrigued to see where this one goes. Another one that I really want to get to and that I was hoping that I could get to in the month of June was Caught Up by Navisa Allen. This is book 2 in the Into Darkness series, the sequel to Lights Out. This is an interconnected standalone series, so you don't need to read book 1 to read book 2, but I would highly suggest that you read book 1. Lights Out was one of my favourite books of last year and I've read it 3 times since I read it in August last year, so I'm very excited about this one. In this one we're following Junior, who is Ali's cousin from book 1 and someone that he's been obsessed with for quite a while. I think it is a second chance romance and I'm very intrigued. It's definitely still a dark romance, so I'm very excited for that one. Then I have all of these books out from the library that I'm hoping to get to at some point in the month of July. One is the Ornithologist's Field Guide to Love by India Holton. This is an NZ author and I've heard great things about it, especially from Books and Lala. She recently read it and loved it, so I'm very intrigued. This kind of gives Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies feel to it. It is a cozy fantasy romance and I'm very excited. So in this one we're following Beth Pickerton and she is on the verge of finally capturing the rare death whistler bird when Professor Devon Lockley swoops in, stealing both her bird and her imagination. For his part, Devon has never been more smitten than when he first set eyes on Beth. When a competition to become Birder of the Year by capturing an endangered Caladrus bird is announced, Beth and Devon are forced to team up to have any chance of winning. They're hunting the rarest species, but will these rivals discover something even more endangered? True love. So I've heard so many good things about this, and I'm really, really excited to check it out, and hopefully I can get to it in the month of July. I have a plan for this one, and I hope that I can get it done, but this is Credence by Penelope Douglas. I'm hoping to do a spoiler-filled reading vlog for this because I've heard so many mixed things about this. People either really, really hate this book or really, really love it, and I'm very intrigued to see where I stand on this one. I've read Penelope Douglas before. I've read Birthday Girl, and I loved it so, so much. I've heard so many mixed things about this that I'm very, very intrigued, and I just want to film every reaction. So I got it out from the library. I have no idea what this is about. Three of them, one of her in a remote cabin in the woods. Let the hot winter nights ensue in the steamy romance from New York Times best-selling author Penelope Douglas. Tiernan DeHaas doesn't care about anything anymore. The only child of a film producer and his movie star wife, she's grown up with wealth and privilege but never love or guidance. And when her parents suddenly pass away, she knows she should be devastated, but she's always been alone, hasn't she? Jake Vanderberg, her father's stepbrother, assumes guardianship of Tiernan. After moving to the mountains of Colorado to live with Jake and his two sons, Noah and Caleb, Tiernan quickly learns that these men now have a say in what she chooses to care and not care about anymore. As the three men take Tiernan under her wing, she slowly finds her place among them. But lines blur and rules become easy to break when no one else is watching. They each want her, but only one of them is going to keep her. So prepare for a spoiler-filled reading vlog of this one because I'm so intrigued, and I think it will go pretty quick because Penelope Douglas's stories do tend to move that little bit quicker. The next one that I've heard a lot about is Incidents Around the House by Josh Malerman. Josh Malerman wrote Bird Box, and I read that quite a few years ago and I really, really enjoyed it. And I've heard quite a few people talking about this, especially Jan from Jan Aguiton. I've heard her speak about it a lot. I don't remember if she liked it or not, but I'm very, very intrigued. So, a chilling horror novel about a haunting told by the perspective of a young girl whose troubled family is targeted by an entity she calls their mommy. To 8-year-old Bella, her family is her world. There's Mommy, Dado, and Grandma Ruth. There is also Other Mommy, a malevolent entity who asks her every day, "Can I go inside your heart?" When horrifying incidents around the house signal that Other Mommy is growing tired of asking Bella the question over and over, Bella understands that unless she says yes, her family will soon pay. Other Mommy is getting restless, stronger, bolder. Only the bonds of family can keep Bella safe. But cracks in her parents' marriage are starting to show. The safety Bella relies on is about to unravel, but Other Mommy needs an answer. Incidents Around the House is a chilly, wholly unique tale of true horror about a family as haunted as their home. I've heard some good things about this, I think. But then again, I could be lying. But, Chapter 1 is basically, "Good night, Dado. Good night, Mommy. Mommy and Dado leave my room. I pull the covers up to my chin. Other Mommy comes out of the closet. 'Hi,' I say. 'I'm so excited to see you again.'" It sounds freaky and creepy, and I think I will really enjoy this. So I'm very, very excited because I haven't read a proper thriller in a while, or a horror, so I'm very, very excited. Another one that I want to check out is A River of Golden Bones by A.K. Mulford. A.K. Mulford is another NZ author, and I've heard some really, really great things about her. And this one was available at the library, so I thought I'd pick it up. So we've got twins, Calla and Briar, who have spent their entire lives hiding from the powerful sources who destroy their kingdom, and from the humans who don't know who they are, wolves. Each twin has their own purpose in life. Briar's is to marry the prince of an ally pack and save the Golden Court. Calla's purpose is to remain a secret, her twin's shadow, the backup plan. No one knows who Calla truly is except for her childhood friend and sister's betrothed, the distractingly handsome Prince Grey. But when Calla and Briar journey out of hiding for Briar's wedding, all of their well-made plans go awry. The evil sorceress is back with another sleeping curse for the last heir to the Golden Court. Calla must step out of the shadows and save her sister, her kingdom, and her own legacy, continuing to hide as a human and denying who she truly is. Calla embarks on a quest across the realm, discovering a whole new world she never knew existed. Outside the confines of a rigid wolf society, Calla begins to wonder who would she be if she dared to try. Yeah, I've heard that A.K. Mulford writes a lot of LGBTQIA plus characters in here, so I'm very, very intrigued to see where we go with this one. And I didn't realize it was wolves, even though there's a bloody wolf on the cover. I didn't think that our main characters were actually wolves, so that's really, really interesting, and I'm very, very intrigued about this one as well, so hopefully I can get to it. Another one that I've heard so many things about, and mainly because we've been waiting for this book for so long. This book was announced and then the publishing date just kept getting pushed and pushed and pushed, and then it all of a sudden came out, and that is Bloodguard by C.C. Robson. And I don't know much about this, so I'm just going to read the back, but this stunning cover is stunning, and I'm very, very intrigued about it because it was kept getting pushed and pushed and pushed, and there was a lot of excitement for it. So everything in the kingdom of Arrow is a lie. Leith of Grey thought he had nothing to lose, and fighting in the gladiator arena was his last best chance to save his dying sister. He was wrong, and they took everything. His hope, his freedom, his very humanity. All Leith had left in his battle-scarred, rage-fueled body. All Leith had left is his battle-scarred, rage-fueled body. Then Leith meets Maeve, an elven royal who's everything he despises, until the alluring princess offers him the one thing he needs most, a way out. But in a kingdom built on secrets and lies, hope doesn't come cheap, nor will his ultimate revenge. So it doesn't give me a lot, but I think this is going to be an enemies to lovers dynamic, and I'm very, very intrigued. So yeah, I'm hoping that I can get to this one. Fingers crossed. If not, it'll be another month. And another one that I keep putting on my TBR and I keep pushing off is Bonded by Thorns by Elizabeth Helen. I've talked about this multiple times before, but this is the Beast of the Briars series. We're following a main character who finds that her father is missing, so she goes on the search to find him, and she ends up in the Fae realm, and turns out that he is being kept prisoner by 4 Fae princes. So she decides that she is going to offer herself as a prisoner to save her father, and it's a Beauty and the Beast retelling. I've heard amazing things about this one again, and I don't know why I keep pushing it off, but it needs to be done. I bought book 1 and book 2 on Kindle because they were on special, and then I just bought book 3 and book 4 at the shop because they were on clearance, so they were really, really cheap. I got them for like $8 each. So that is that one. Another one that I want to read is the sequel to Terra, or the Terrestrials duology by Gretchen Powell Fox. So I read Terra, which is book 1. This is now in a bind up, and it was re-edited and re-released by Gretchen Powell Fox. And in this world, it is a dystopian novel where we have land dwellers and then sky dwellers. Sky dwellers are the rich and they want for nothing, and they are living in cities in the sky. And then we're following Terra, who is taking care of her brother, and they live on the land, and she is a scrapper, so she finds scrap, and she ends up in a situation that's kind of gotten her into a bit of trouble, and she meets a sky dweller, and things go from there. It's really, really good and really, really interesting, so I'm hoping that I can get to book 2 in that one and finish off that duology, because that will be great, and I can get a review up for the author. The next one that I want to try and get to is Her Feral Beasts by E.P. Bally. I started off my Rosie vlog, so I'm very, very excited about this one. It is a Why Choose dark fantasy romance, and that's all I really know about it. We have our main character who is running away from a arranged marriage, and her mates are on the hunt after her. That's all I know, and I'm very, very intrigued. So we've got a lot of reading to do in the month of July, and I hope that I can get to all of these, or if not, some of them. If you like this video, make sure to give it a like, comment down below what you're going to be reading in the month of July, subscribe if you want to see more content from me. I'm also on Runaway Irish Girl on Instagram, and hopefully a little bit more on TikTok too, and we shall see where we go with that. But yeah, I will talk to you in my next video very, very soon. Bye.